The following video is sponsored by the Longview Economic Development Corporation, the Kilgore College Small Business Development Center, and the Small Business Association.
At the Longview Economic Development Corporation, we focus on the growth and expansion of Longview businesses.
The Kilgore College Small Business Development Center, providing small businesses with the practical assistance needed to survive, grow, and prosper.
Hi, I'm Ron Collier. I'm president of the Collier Consulting Group, and I've come here today to talk to you and give you an introduction to business planning for your small business. I think one of the really key things about business planning is, and I know that it's words that so many times we take very lightly, but a business plan really gives us direction, not only for our business whenever we start a business, but also direction for our business on a yearly basis. So the first thing is, not only should we develop a plan whenever we start business, but we really need to review the plan, adjust the plan, at least on a yearly basis, ideally about every 6 months. So if you really think about a business plan, as this chart shows, sometimes it's kind of a no-win situation. And the reason why I'm saying that is that the business plan typically is your plan. It's not necessarily your employee's plan. It's not necessarily your distributor's plan. Not necessarily your banker's plan. It is your plan. And so many times you think you have a really great business plan, but you don't have all the others agreeing with you. So sometimes business plans can be a no-win situation. So what we've got to be sure about is not only to develop a plan, but develop a plan that is workable within the framework that we have in our particular marketplace within our business. That's what's key. So let's talk about why write a business plan, because that's really what's truly key. The old saying goes that, you know, if you don't really know where you're going, then any road will take you there. So that means if I really don't have a direction, then I can go anywhere I want to go. And so what is important is to define our philosophy of running a business, find out exactly what we want to do, and really examine internally what we really want to bring to the party. You know, what are our strengths of the product or service that we have? What are our weaknesses when it comes to the marketplace? What are opportunities out there in the marketplace? So there are certain areas that we can go to that we haven't even thought about outside the box. What threats are there? And these are all things that you kind of examine as you're developing and setting down with yourself or with your staff or whatever to really develop a direction for the future, looking at all these things and doing a lot of what-ifs. That's really one of the key things. So let's talk about some of the things that comprise a business plan, and then we're going to develop them initially. Each one, and show you exactly what they consist of. But remember, the business plan is developed by you for your company, obviously, but it's also a business plan that's going to be developed for your banker, because the banker is going to be seeing that business plan. You're probably going to go and try to get some kind of line of credit, or you may want to get some kind of loans or something like that. And a banker is going to know, you know, what's your vision, what's your plan, how are you going to use this money, how are you going to use this line of credit, and that's really key. Also, we may be sharing the business plan with other professionals, for example, consultants or perhaps accountants, so that they know exactly what we want to do, and we're going to give them a framework that they can use to help us in running a profitable business. We're also going to share the business plan perhaps with certain colleagues or maybe our team. So many times, you know, employees don't really know where you're going. They have no idea of your direction. They don't really know, you know, where the end is or where the light is at the end of the tunnel. And so many times we need to share some of that information for them. So a business plan, once again, is not just written for us. It's written for us to share with bankers, professionals, and our team so that we make the best use of it. So one thing we want to do with a business plan too is we lay everything out at the start of the year, at the start of our business. Hopefully it will help us to anticipate and even avoid perhaps some obstacles or threats or opportunities or things like that that we may be willing to encounter as we're progressing through the year. And the idea is for us to be able to run the business, not the business running you. I know a lot of you out there are saying to myself, saying to yourself, gee, I work all these long hours and I don't have anything to show for it, and that's because the business is running you. You're just showing up, the business is running you, and you're going home. You're working long hours, but you really have nothing to show for it. So what we want to do through a business plan is to say, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and this is exactly how I'm going to do it. So let's look at the key parts of a business plan, okay? And we'll address each of these individually in some of the next segments. One is sort of the executive summary, and it's really where you provide someone a summary of your entire plan. So if you just wanted to hand a couple of sheets or 3 or 4 sheets of paper to a banker, you can say, this is my business, this is what I'm planning on doing, and it is summarized in what we call the executive summary. Then secondly, we have a financial plan. The financial plan is going to define the financial operations of our business. Like how are we going to sell our products, where are we going to price them, what's going to be the cost of our products, those kinds of things that we need to be successful and make a profit in our company. That's our financial plan. We're also going to have a sales plan. How are we going to sell the products that we have priced in our financial plan to the general public? What is that sales plan? Are we going to have a distribution network? Are we going to be a local company? Are we going to have sales associates? Are we going to have an internet business? What is our sales approach to getting our product to market? And then we also have, of course, a marketing plan. How much money are we actually allocating to marketing? Who are we going to target for our customers? These are questions we've got to answer in the business plan so we know that we're moving in the right direction. And then we also have a production plan. How are these products going to be produced? Or are we going to buy and resell these particular products? That's really what's key, is to have these different things in place. And lastly, the organizational plan. Once we have all these other plans in place, what kind of organization do we need to fulfill all the rest of the plans? What is our organizational chart going to look like? How many people do I really need? Because now that I know what needs to be done, the key is to assess and create an organizational plan to carry out those goals that I have for my business.